the Nantile Ridge, a quiet spine of rock and grass, tucked just west of Snowdon, a place less travelled, but no less striking. The ridge rises, peak by peak, stretching eastward, like a slow wave frozen in stone. From here, you can see its western end first, a high, rocky outcrop, surrounded by drifting white. As the camera pans left, the ridge unfolds, one summit after another, sharp in profile, softened by the mist below, each part distinct, but all connected. The Nantile Ridge isn't the highest in Snowdonia, but its tallest point still reaches around 750 meters, more than enough to rise above the low cloud on a day like this, and more than enough to feel the wind slip between the peaks. At the far end of the shot, just beyond the ridge itself, you'll see a larger shape, rising quietly above the cloud layer. That's Snowdon, the highest mountain in Wales. It stands just over 1,000 meters high. But it doesn't belong to the Nantile Ridge. Snowdon is part of its own group of peaks, a mountain cluster sometimes called the Snowdon Massif, while Nantile stands alone to the west. The clouds surmounting the ridge aren't just passing fog. This is the beginning of a cloud inversion, a strange and beautiful phenomenon where the usual order of warm and cool air flips. Cool air sinks into the valleys, trapped by warmer layers above, and when moisture settles into that lower air, it condenses into a sea of cloud. From below, it looks like mist, but from up here, it feels like floating. The valleys hidden, the peaks revealed, the sky above and below. This effect often happens in calm conditions, usually in the early morning, or, like now, in the fading light of evening. As the air cools and moisture begins to gather. We often call this a cloud inversion, but part of what you're seeing is also orographic cloud, a different process, where moist air is pushed upward by the land itself. As the wind meets the hills, it rises, and as it rises, it cools, turning invisible vapor into visible cloud, hugging the ridges, following the shapes of the land. The ridge in this video caught both effects at once: orographic lifting and the settling of cold valley air, beginning to build into a full inversion. This wasn't the end of the event. It was only the beginning. The cloud continued to gather, filling the valley, slowly climbing higher. But the light was fading, and the rest of it happened in the dark. So this moment is a kind of balance, where the mountains still hold their shape, while the world below slips into mist. The Nantile Ridge stands clear, for now, high above the clouds, watching the slow change in the air, the quiet shift in the valley. A small ridge in a quiet part of Wales, but for a brief moment, it floats like an island above a sea of white. And beyond it, the dark shape of Snowdon, rising steady, looking back over everything it watches. A world of stone and silence, and the slow breath of the earth becoming visible in the air.